Good morning. The COT data video for the week beginning the 29th of April. So don't forget we've got end of month flows, and also we've got the sell in May go away. But we've actually found out historically that's not necessarily true. It might be a ruse to get the retail guys to go really short, which we've discovered the last couple of years. So just trade what you see. And also don't forget this video is for informational purposes only. While it looks like the Euro USD is a sell, it is a sell going by the COT data, but you would have to look at your technicals and sentiment. And obviously you wouldn't just fly into a Euro USD sell just based on this, but we can see some very heavy selling from the banks, and we've come from 32,000 and we're negative. Which I can't show you because that date's in the way, but we can see that we've definitely gone below zero. So we've had a big dump, a 32,000 contract dump on the euro. The dollar is also stable, so that can indicate a Euro USD sell setup. But we'd also have to remember that that will probably materialize if we go risk off, okay? Because the dollar will strengthen and the euro should weaken against the USD, okay? So if we do go risk off, then this will probably likely materialize, okay? So we've got the heads up here. We know what the banks are doing, and the reason for selling the euro, it's for many reasons, because we've had lots of bad data out of Europe, and also they could be anticipating a risk off event as well. Okay, so just bear in mind, remember this is just informational purposes. I've known people just to trade a setup based on this COT data, and then I get a message to say, oh, it didn't pan out. I'm like, well, this is from Tuesday, right? So this data is from here. So we've had a long time since, and by the time you watch this video, it could be by Monday. So it's nearly a week has gone past, okay? But just so you know that they have sold the euro, okay? Let's look at the yen. The yen's probably going to be under a lot of pressure, and we are. And this is the first time I've seen this video too. It's worth noting, because when you're watching this, I'm watching it with you, okay? So I've got no idea what's going to happen with the pound or the Aussie or the CAD until we see it. So we've seen a big dump on the yen, which isn't really too surprising because we've seen cross yen really pump, and we come to the basket dashboard. Is that we've got a very poor score on the Japanese yen, and we've had a very weak price performance over the week. So what should happen is that we have greens, and then we should have reds, okay? And obviously a good score would be a buy, and a poor score would be a sell. So you're looking for a good score versus a weak score. So you could look for Aussie yen or pound yen. But the thing is with the yen is that we're likely going to get some yen intervention, because that would just be ironic, couldn't it? I'd say this is a buy or this is a sell, and then next thing you know, we've got a central bank intervening on price. So be really careful with the yen, okay? And so that's that. So we've got some heavy selling on yen. So we can take euro off, put on Aussie. Aussie is now deviating away from yen, so that's okay, because we shouldn't be running them parallel, because one is was a safe haven, one is a risky asset, and so they should be running in different directions, okay? And that poor old yen's really dumping, isn't it? So Aussie is minus 101 to minus 96. So it has bucked the trend slightly, but we're still quite heavy on the Aussie, okay? And that in itself is fairly risk off, because Aussie is a good risk on, risk off proxy. So they are not interested in the Aussie, really, but we've seen a slight tick up from the week prior. Pound on, it's hard to say what's going to happen here. Wow, okay. So we see the big dump on euro and the big dump on pound, okay. So we are negative. I'll have to have a look at that so we can get the data, because I can't report the number because I'm showing you the date, but we have come from 43,000. So big dump. Like the euro, we had a 32,000. This is a 43,000, so it's a little bit more significant selling. And of course, because we had the crossover, that's the GU sell. Okay, likewise we had the EU sell, but you know, you'd have to look at your charts in order before you took this information. You know, you wouldn't just jump in willy-nilly, because it could be quite dangerous. Well, it would be very dangerous. You need to know your exits. CAD slightly higher, a bit like the Aussie, 82 to 76. We are negative, but less negative. It's possible it's just doing a little retracement for another leg down. Gold is off note. Oh, okay, we're still sideways. It's possibly just looking for direction, isn't it? We can see by looking at the gold chart, we can potentially be going higher. What we saw on the gold is that we saw a trap form at the all-time high, where they got paid a little bit momentarily, and then what happened is that they shorted it, and then they got paid momentarily. So I think what's probably happening is we're going to be sandwiched between where they went long, so they created a punishment box, and where they went short, therefore creating a punishment box. So I think we'll be sandwiched a bit on gold from creating that supply from them going long and that demand from them going short. So we could well be sandwiched this week. Tune in to the daily videos because we look at gold every day if you're interested in trading gold, okay? And gold off, New Zealand dollar, and just kind of sideways, really. Just a bit sideways. New Zealand dollar off, and then lastly Swiss franc. And we're dumped on the Swiss franc, so some selling going on right now. So it's off note. Remember that we're gonna use this data, and we're gonna try and formulate some ideas of it. And this black line will change on Tuesday night because that tells us the sentimental shifting on a weekly basis. It's not daily, because we found on the daily is that we had a lot of flip flop. They get punished, got a big reversal. Next day they get punished, big reversal, and it's very hard to try and get a good direction because they're switching so frequently intraday. So I think on the weekly basis, this black line here is going to be a lot more powerful. So if it points up, it's a buy. If it points down, it's a sell. I made it so it's nice and easy. So obviously, if it's pointing up and we've got a good score, you could look for Aussie longs, right? And likewise, let's say the New Zealand dollar, we've got a poor score, we've got a poor performance, and if that points down, you could look for Kiwi sells. So you could look for Aussie Kiwi, potentially. You know, that's how you could use it. Likewise, the euro pound, the pound's got a better score than the euro, so we can potentially see EG sell. And so that's how you use it. And also there's a little guide here how to use, so hopefully that's clear. So I've broken it down in QDB score, sentiment, and the price performance. So if you get the 1, 2, 3 to align, then you know you've got a good basis for an idea. And of course, if you use that logic for a buy, use that same logic for a sell, then you're going to do quite well. Okay. And lastly, don't forget Marco's done some absolutely amazing upload for us where we can check how the big banks are positioned for the week ahead, and they're saying that there's a potential leg up higher for the USD from Merrill Lynch and the Bank of America. So you know, at your leisure, click that, and then you can certainly have a look and see what you think, and that would mirror what we're seeing on the COT data when we can look at the EU and GU. So we can take Swiss franc off and put on pound. You can see they've actually really shorted both. And there's the dollar being fairly stable, but they've actually definitely sold the British pound and the euro against the USD. So that's today's video. Trade safely, like I said at the very beginning of the video, and you should be fine, but you just need to know your exit. If you don't know your exit, then it's likely you're just going to, just have a stop, but then move it. You need to be very, very disciplined when you're trading. Okay, and that's today's video. We'll be back tonight for the Sunday evening bulletin.